You know that moment when you meet someone who's wildly accomplished, smart, experienced, respected, but the second you land on their website, you think, this can't possibly be the same person. That was our client, Samantha, a brand strategist with 10 years of experience and a client roster most entrepreneurs would envy. But online, you'd never know it. Her visuals were fine, pretty even, but generic. Muted beige palette, polite fonts, a logo she'd outgrown 3 years ago. When she first came to us, she said, "People always tell me I'm more impressive in person than I look online." That's when we knew exactly what needed to change. Because when your clients say you're more impressive in person, your brand isn't amplifying your authority, it's minimizing it. So we rebuilt everything. And when her new brand launched, her client's reaction said it all. Finally, this feels like you. That's the power of emotional alignment. A rebrand isn't just a new font, a new color palette, or a shinier website. It's a mirror. When done right, it reflects the most powerful version of who you already are before you even open your mouth. Because great branding doesn't just represent you, it reminds you. It's not about inventing an identity. It's about translating it visually, strategically, and energetically, so your audience can feel what it's like to work with you before they ever do. That's why luxury brands obsess over detail. They understand that design isn't decoration, it's communication. Everything speaks: the white space, the tone, the typography, the composition. The question is, what is it saying about you? When we met Samantha, she had been undercharging for years. Her work was exquisite, but her visuals whispered, approachable and affordable. She wasn't affordable. She was exceptional. But her design told the wrong story. Here's what we changed. We shifted her palette from soft pastels to architectural neutrals, colors that felt grounded and quietly confident. We chose typography that looked more like an editorial spread than a startup. We stripped away clutter, focusing on negative space, because negative space creates presence. And then we did something that changed everything. We rewrote her homepage hero section around her essence, not her resume. It stopped being about what she did and started being about what she stood for. That one shift, combined with design that finally matched her authority, completely recalibrated how her audience perceived her. Within a month, she landed 2 dream clients at double her previous rate, not because she changed what she offered, because her audience could finally see the caliber of what she'd been offering all along. That's what happens when your brand catches up to your brilliance. A rebrand done right doesn't just make you look better, it makes your clients feel safer investing in you. Because safety isn't just about logic, it's about aesthetic trust. Your brand can either create friction or flow. When your visuals and message feel aligned, everything clicks faster, trust forms faster, connection deepens faster, and sales follow naturally. People think they buy results. They don't. They buy resonance. They buy the feeling of recognition when your brand says, "This is for you," and they instinctively believe it. That's why luxury brands can sell the same handbag at 10 times the price of a competitor. It's not because of materials, it's because of meaning. And meaning is built through alignment. If your brand feels disconnected from who you've become, your audience feels it too. And that disconnect costs you, in authority, in conversion, in momentum. We see this constantly with coaches, consultants, and creative founders. They evolve faster than their branding does. The brand they built 3 years ago was perfect for who they were, but now it's holding them back from who they've become. And that misalignment isn't just aesthetic, it's energetic. When your brand feels dated, your confidence drops every time you share it. You hesitate to send people your site. You spend too long explaining instead of simply showing. And here's the truth, you can't scale from that energy. Because if you don't believe your own brand represents your standard, how can anyone else? The right rebrand reclaims that conviction. It reminds you, this is the level I'm playing at now. And when your visuals catch up to that belief, your entire business starts operating differently. You stop marketing like you're convincing people and start communicating like the leader you already are. Your clients feel it. Your peers feel it. You feel it. That's the invisible ROI of emotional alignment. You don't just attract better clients, you attract right-fit clients. The ones who say, "I've been waiting for something like this." They're not comparing you to competitors anymore. They're comparing you to the standard they've been dreaming of. That's why a rebrand, done right, pays for itself faster than almost anything else in business, because it turns visual alignment into emotional authority. And when your audience feels that authority, they buy faster and stay longer. One of our favorite parts of this process is the moment founders like Samantha finally see their own evolution reflected back to them. There's always this pause, a soft smile, a kind of relief. It's not vanity, it's validation. Because for the first time, their business looks like how it feels. That's what we build inside our templates, pre-designed frameworks for founders ready to align how their business looks with what it's truly become. They're not just layouts, they're leverage. Each design is intentionally crafted to hold space for high-caliber offers, to communicate elegance and depth without clutter, and to make you look like the authority you already are. Because when your visuals finally match your voice, something shifts. You stop explaining. You start embodying. And your audience responds instinctively, finally. This feels like you. So if you've been feeling that quiet disconnect, if you know your work is extraordinary, but your visuals haven't caught up, it might be time to stop waiting for someday and start refining now. You'll find everything you need linked below: our template shop for the designs, our private training for the frameworks, and our signature program if you're ready to scale what you've built into a brand that truly leads. Because when your identity and your visuals finally speak the same language, the market listens differently. And when the market listens differently, everything changes.